Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my amazing audience. I'm Jonathan Bengal here, host of Naked Tax Talk, where babies, we get naked and bear down to the naked truth about our tax lives. And we do that by openly talking about our personal lives, our business lives, and of course, our financial/money lives. People always ask me, why, JB? Why do you show up on your show practically naked? And here's why. Because through being naked, I'm being vulnerable and cultivating courage by showing up authentically as who I am, that I was made to be in this world. A couple of announcements. Number one, in case you guys have not received a copy of my book and have not gotten it, I have a new link that you can access to get a copy of it. It's still on sale. 99 cents. I'm now a #1 best Amazon seller, #1 best Amazon author, and a #1 best international author. And I'm super, super excited to bring you this amazing book that will be released on July the 21st, but you can still pre-order my book now, today, and everything else. And I just saw that my one of my sites is having a problem right now as I'm dealing with this. So not sure quite what to do, but we're going to try that again. I don't know if it's going to let me, and hopefully we'll get on there. Okay, sorry, that's like a little bit of a something in the back end here happening. Needless to say, also, I want to let you guys know, hey, bro, how are you? I want to let you guys know that this is an interactive conference. Conference? Sure, why not? It's an interactive show. So, if you've got comments, you've got ideas, you want to ask some questions, now's the time to do it. And of course, I have no problemo answering your guys' questions and whatnot. Also, I'm super, super excited. So today I was digging around looking for more legal loopholes. That's what we do as proactive tax planners. That's what I do as a proactive tax planner. And we dig around for legal loopholes. And would you believe it? I found one. And it's actually redonkulously ridiculous what I found. And so because I found it, I'm a big believer in sharing this information. There's going to be a minor investment on your part, 100% tax deductible to your business. And it's basically are you ready for this? How to shift personal expenses to your business and have your business pay for those personal related expenses as it relates to COVID. So imagine that you're sick, someone has passed away, there's other issues that are going on with COVID, and you're having to pay out of pocket, which is normally non-deductible to you as a business owner. Now there's a legal loophole that opens that up to you, and now you're going to be able to make some shifts. What does that mean to you guys? Well, it means a minimum of 15.3% savings in taxes overnight. So next Wednesday at 2 p.m., mark your calendars, next Wednesday at 2 p.m., I'm going to have a webinar. You'll have to register for it. I put the link in the comments so you guys can go and register and get on board. Seats are limited. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a hot topic. That's what I can share with you. And you guys are going to learn how to, what is deductible, how to shift it, and how to audit proof yourself in the process to make this strategy work. And at the end, as a bonus, I'm going to give you guys an actual template that you'll be able to use to further audit proof your business. So that's what I have in terms of announcements. Sound good? If you guys want to attend my event, hit the comment, tell me I want in. As a matter of fact, you can actually text my virtual employee SensorBot. You can text him at 555-888, and you're going to use the word I want in. And that will begin the process of getting you access to the link where you can actually register for it, as well as getting access to SensorBot. Okay, so what other developments can I share with you guys other than I'm launching this amazing webinar and I cannot wait to make an impact? Well, all right then. So today, I actually wanted to talk about something that I find very important, I think, for every single one of us. And I did not realize that one of my coping mechanisms, turns out it's a beautiful, universal type thing. But one thing that I didn't realize that I do for myself includes unless your name is Paul. Paul, great, refer to me what you mean by that. But essentially, I realized that there was something about my life that I always do subconsciously. And it wasn't until I started thinking about it consciously that I realized that what I'm about to tell you guys really, truly helped to propel me on a personal level, on a business level, and of course, on a money level. So, what that is that it's the title of my show today, which is There's a Lesson in Everything. You know, I want to just share real quick a story here with one of my family members. And there was some drama that went down. And after all the drama kind of like calmed down, I asked my brother, who's actually watching the show today, I had said, brother, you know, what is the lesson that you learned from what happened? And of course, he responded the way I imagined he would respond. And it's about the life altering change that we come to understand about the events as they unfold. Now, here's what I'll share with you about lessons, though. Lessons are lessons do not happen to us in the moment while it's occurring. That's really key. That's really fundamental, right? So while we're going through the trauma, while we're going through the drama, right, while we're going through the drive-through to order our French fries, it's it is essentially the lesson that we're learning is not fully vested. It's not there right away. And what I discovered that what I would do ever since as a young boy I can remember is I always looked backwards. I always looked to the past, but not to dwell there in the depression, to not dwell there in the would haves, the could haves, and the should haves, but instead to look to the past to see what was the lesson I was supposed to learn from the events that unfolded. And sometimes we can be really in tune with that, sometimes within a matter of minutes. I know the closer and closer I become more in tune with universe, I can connect these dots faster and faster and faster. And as one of my coaches said, it's almost like JB, you're able to transfer from one universe to the next, which got me thinking about the word universe. You know, these lessons that we learn, you know, when we're young, we learn these lessons by breaking our legs, cutting our fingers. You know, I got scars all over from different things as a child. And that's how we learn. As adults, we learn our lessons through money, mistakes that we make with money, investments that we might make, or whatever the case may be. But it has a monetary lesson there, which got me even further thinking about, well, what does the word universe really mean? And for those of you who know me and who talk to me on a regular basis, you guys all know that I use this term. Universe actually stands for University of Life. And the tuition that we pay the universe is the lessons that we have to go through, that we have to learn. Now, why I say have to is because for some of us who believe that part of our lives have already have to a degree have been predestined. We've already made contracts with the people that we encounter on a day-to-day basis, and they help us to fulfill our life's purpose. On a personal level, when we look back on our personal lives, we can always ask ourselves, what is the lesson that I'm supposed to learn from what happened? From a business perspective, when deals don't go down or you close a deal, the question is what can I learn from that? How can I improve it? How can I make it better? And of course, from a monetary perspective, which happens to be a byproduct of those decisions, we can hold on to that as well and ask, how do we make this better? So if I may, I'll share a personal story. What if I may? Why am I asking you guys permission? It's my show. But needless to say, I'm going to share a personal story with you guys. Actually, there's a lot of personal stories. But here's the lesson that I've learned not actually that long ago. And I'm about to get even more naked with you guys. The lesson that I learned, luckily for me, when I was becoming a Buddhist, one of the lessons that I was learning was this thing called practicing non-attachment. Practicing non-attachment basically believes it's part of many other factors, but it fundamentally comes down to us practicing non-attachment, basically trying not to be attached to people, objects, beliefs, outcomes, etc., the whole entire list, doing our best to be not attached. You see, as people, we are automatically born into a world where we become attached. We become attached to how things should be, right? For example, my poor mother, who I know she's my super fan, but I know in the very beginning when I was a young boy, she was attached to me growing up to be straight, have a family, and everything else. And of course, when I came out as gay, her attachment to what I should be, of course, caused some angst. Later on, she would share with me that she let go of that. Exactly, bro. She let it go and moved into the world of acceptance by not being attached to the ideal of what her son should be. For me, the way that works is in the sales process in business. So here we go, right? I mean, I know I'm a tax dude, but the truth is right, I still need to make sales. In sales, it's the same thing. You know what I discovered and the lesson I learned about this is that when we become so attached to closing the deal, we become attached to the relationship, we become attached to their approval, we become attached to them loving us and liking us and continuing to be our friend. Out of that deluded mindset of attachment, what happens is we begin to do all these crazy things that devalues who we are. We tend to offer discounts. We give away things for free that maybe we shouldn't be giving away for free. We make concessions on things that we normally would not make concessions on. And that all comes from this concept of attachment, of trying our best to hold on to something that really isn't there. And because of that, when a sale doesn't go the way we expect it to, on comes the mindset of depression. On comes the debasing of ourselves. On comes the self-guilt, self-shame, all of that cloud of bullshit that just kind of parks itself and begins to trickle itself way down through us. And so then we began to become frustrated. What did I do wrong? Did I say things right? Like, why didn't they buy from me? Why did they do this? I should have done a better job. We just go through this whole entire cycle. And so what happens is the next client comes along into your life, and out of desperation, because we're still attached to the outcome, we end up doing worse things. And eventually, we end up with hundreds of thousands of clients, all undervaluing what we do. What I can share with you is that it's about us stepping into that power and saying, wait a minute, I am valuable, I am worthy, and more importantly, people are not necessarily buying me because it's a transaction, they're forming a relationship. The lessons that we learn through this process helps us to progress and to move forward in the sales process. And I actually forgot my original thought, to be honest with you. But my whole point about this is that it boils down to our letting go. A few months ago, I started working on my soul. I actually contacted a person who works, and I call it soul surfing, who helped me to step into furthering my power of who I am as JP, as Jonathan Campbell, as the host of this author that I really am. And what I discovered is that there's one phrase I love to use with any of my sales conversations, and that is that I'm not attached to the outcome of today's call. You see, if we're able to detach ourselves from that, we're able to remain calm. We're able to remain in our power. We're able to truly still continue to show up authentically as ourselves. Speaking of authenticity, a lot of people always ask me, so JD, you always show up so authentic as you, as who you really are. And I always say it's because I'm not attached to what people think about me. And that's really hard. And it's not overnight. It doesn't just happen in a flash. It takes time and it takes practice to remind yourself to enter the mind of awareness and the mind of mindfulness that helps us to say, that's a great point. I cannot be attached. Because that's what keeps me calm. That's what keeps me going on where I'm headed in my direction. Life, universe, is always teaching us a lesson. That's the reality. It's always showing us this is what's possible. This is what you can do. You know, in business, I did not realize that there are people who I call business bullies. You know, in real life, in personal lives, we've all dealt with the bullies of our life, whether it's our relatives, whether it's our schoolmates, our peers, people online. You know, we're always dealing with bullies. I never imagined that bullies can actually exist inside of business. And it turns out that bullies can and they do exist. But from one point of view, I can hold on to the attachment if I choose to and say that those bullies are always bullies. They're always going to be bullies. They're always going to do their best to take the upper hand. So how do we remove that mindset and change it and shift it? It started with me recognizing that those same bullies are actually suffering the same way that I'm suffering. They're suffering in the same way that I am. They're afraid of losing clients. They're afraid of overpaying taxes. They're afraid of losing money. They're afraid of being jacked around. They're afraid. And so from that, I can look at them and I can look at myself and I can say, I myself will develop a heart of compassion. What this does in business is it changes the way in which we show up and the way that we interact with our clients. It allows us to see our clients not as a number, not as money, but allows us to see them as people, allows us to develop a heart of compassion so that we can place ourselves in their shoes, so that we can understand their pain and their suffering, so that we can focus on our solution, which is to bring them pure happiness and their pure peace. When I look back on the lessons of my life and look back at the bully situation and saying, the moment that I developed a heart of compassion for them, that's when everything's really started to change and radically become better in my business. My sales started to take off. The money started to come in. And of course, because I'm a tax genius, we know the taxes will decrease. This is how it works. We look back and we say, what was I supposed to learn? And the reality is this is what I love about life, is that the moment we kind of look back on something, we can make a conscious effort to make a change in real time, within seconds, within minutes, and then continue to hold on to those change until it becomes part of our new selves, part of our new being, our new who we are, how we show up in this world. You know, when you think about taxes, for example, I represent clients as well. So clients that owe the government back taxes, primarily that's what we work with. We work with back taxes and collections. What I discovered is that every client that has come in for representation, and we've had to help them through the mess that is not sometimes their fault, sometimes not their fault, sometimes it's just circumstances, and helping them to get through that. And what I'm always looking for the client is to ask them, when we're done with all of this, what do you hope to accomplish at the end of this? How do you want this to change your life? Because when we learn a new lesson from our past, we can begin to radically change who we are for the better, to become a better business owner, to become a better person, to become a better taxpayer. That is the thing about it when it comes to lessons. You know, I had a client in here that owed the government $43,000 and some change. We got the government to negotiate down to $3,000. And this particular client was so self-conscious and so ashamed that he had not filed his taxes in over 10 years, that he let his tax returns lapse, and he knew that he owed all this money. And unfortunately, because life events in his life, he found himself under a really tough spot and he could just not get out of it. So before he worked with me, I said to him, by helping you to get out of this burden, what is the lesson that you know you will learn from this? And what I can tell you today, today's tax day, by the way, for 2020, thanks to COVID, what he shared with me is that his return has already been filed 2 months ago. He's made sure that all of his estimated taxes have been paid. He's made sure that any withholdings, he's withholding the right amounts to cover his future tax bill. But why that happened? Because we looked at the lesson that he had to learn. And the lesson there was that one should not harbor guilt and shame about not filing your taxes, about not paying your taxes, about owing the government. He learned that if he was just a little bit proactive every single month, every single quarter, he could be ahead of the curve as it relates to his tax life. And so it was a win-win for us both because we got the government to negotiate for just $3,000. Another lesson that I learned with one of my clients as it relates to taxes, the lesson that we all learned was about this thing called entity choice. It isn't until we figure out what entity best suits us for our businesses that we can begin to tap into the lessons regarding the entity choice. I actually had a case with a client that had come to me and was already an S corporation. However, by them being an S corporation, their income level was not high enough to be an S corporation. And here's why. Because as an S corporation, that meant that the level of compliance work was up here. By the way, when we go from a sole proprietor, single member LLC, and we become an S corp or a C corp, even a general partnership, the level of compliance skyrockets. And so the lesson that we had learned is that just because someone like your best friend or your mother's barber, or in their case, their friends of a friend of a friend, said to them, go start out and become an S corporation because it's the best thing you can do for your tax returns. What they did not know is that when they created the S tax status, the S corporate, that there was so much compliance that they didn't do anything because they weren't working with a professional at the time. So next thing you know they found themselves in hot water. They found themselves asking me, wait a minute, why do I have to pay taxes on my distributions? I was told that they were tax-free. And I had to explain why do distributions from an S corporation that are naturally tax-free become a taxable event in their tax life. So of course we got it all sorted out. And I always ask the question, what is the lesson that we want to learn? And the lesson that they told me that they learned is that just because someone else says to go do it does not mean it's the right choice for them on an individual basis. Those are my stories for right now that I can share with you about the lessons that we learn in life. I've learned a lot more lessons. I've also learned that I told you about the bullies. I also told you that I learned a brilliant lesson just recently. And the lesson was this: when we truly show up authentically as who we are, as who we're supposed to be, this is when people are either going to be drawn to you or they will be repelled by you. And that's actually a good thing if you think about it, because there's something that we all have in common with each other. And that is we've got 24 hours that we all live by and die by. And it's a good thing that some people are immediately drawn to you, maybe because of how you're dressed, maybe because how you talk, maybe because of how you just show up. And then there are some people that are automatically repulsed by the way that you show up, by the way that you are. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Because here's why. I would rather spend my hour talking to somebody that is truly interested in developing a relationship with me that is more meaningful than a transactionary experience. It's more than just, here, let me give you $100, exchange for X, Y, and Z. It's about, here, let me give you $100 in exchange for this amazing relationship that we're going to have, knowing that together we're going to do it together, that we're going to move forward with our lives together as a team. That's what we do when we work with people, right? So lessons are constantly happening to us all the time. In fact, in real time, right now, I'll share with you that the lesson I'm already picking up on in the last 24 minutes is that I had in my head what I was going to talk about on today's episode. And so I thought to myself, well, you know what? I won't do too much planning. I'll just kind of let it all be. And here I am finding myself going, uh-oh, what am I going to talk about? The lesson now I know is GB, the next episode you're going to do next week, you're going to spend at least 30 minutes rehearsing, kind of tacking out some ideas that you're going to put out there so it all makes sense and it's all cohesive. You know, that's the thing about lessons too. We cannot dwell in the past of those lessons. Absolutely, it's so imperative that we continue to move forward in a positive light. It's so imperative that we continue to push through all of it and move towards a brighter experience, to becoming who we really are supposed to be in this life. So, with that, here's what I'm going to share with you guys. COVID happened. We all can agree that COVID is wreaking havoc across the world. It's impacting the economy. It's impacting the way that we show up, face masks, no face masks, all that other fun stuff, right? This is what COVID is doing. There is a lesson in all this. And that is that the government actually wants us to be taken care of if we are in business for ourselves. And it wants us to take care of our employees, which is why I am now launching my live webinar next week, July 22nd. It's Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. And I'm going to teach you guys the things that you can deduct that are personally related, but yet can be deducted from your business, which means it reduces your taxable income, which means your tax bill goes down. I'm also going to share with you guys an audit-proof technique that you're going to be able to use, because again, here's what happens. Most people fear that what I'm about to share with them is somehow going to raise red flags, that it's somehow going to cause problems down the road. But here's what I can share with you. The law has been written. The guidance has been provided, which means that we can unlock and tap into that legal loophole. That's what that means for us. So if you're interested in attending my live webinar, I did post it here in the comments. YouTube is not letting me post the links themselves. So I will just post it up here and share with you guys. It's https :bit.ly/bit.ly/3913 lowercase y lowercase e capital H. And that will get you so that you can register for my webinar. It is 100% tax deductible to your business, because what I'm about to share with you is a legal tax loophole for your business. And that is fundamentally important. And I'm going to share this with you guys because here's something cool. When I figured out that there was this legal loophole, I immediately went to work for myself and my own business and started calculating what my savings was going to be. For your business, it's going to be the same thing. For all of my existing clients, I'm going to share the same thing with them because that's what I do. So if you're interested in it, click on the link. It's in the comments. If you're enjoying the show so far, it's going to be kind of short today. If you enjoyed the show so far and would like to hear some more inspiring things down the road, make sure that you hit the click and subscribe button below. You can find me on Facebook as well, and you can like my Facebook channel as well for Naked Tax Talk. You can also find me there, Jonathan Bengal, which is my business page. And needless to say, that's all I have to say. 30 minutes. Wow. My coaches would be so proud of me that I did something in under an hour. So needless to say, here's the thing about lessons and life. The way we grow, the way that we move forward in life is by looking back at the things that happened to us and looking at it and saying, A, how do I remove myself from that non-attachment? And number two, by asking ourselves, what is the lesson I'm supposed to learn from this? And we keep getting asked this question over and over and over again. What is the lesson? Because each time that we tap into the answer, what we will find is that we will evolve into a better person. we will evolve into a more powerful business owner, which means that my value increases, which means that my confidence increases, which means that I finally step into the person I was born to be. Until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening, great morning or afternoon, or whenever you see my show. Until then, I'm Jonathan Bengal, host of Naked Tax Talk. Bye, guys.